Before we started to work on Scum, we talked about the realism and how it's presented in survival games today. If you take a minimal approach, then your character might die without any obvious reason. One minute, you're a happy character just running around doing your thing, and the next minute, you're a corpse. In real life, before you die, your body will send warning signals like pain, discomfort, sometimes months before bad things happen. Scum isn't just a game, it's a universe. Prisoners are implanted with BCUs that track them and can broadcast video for prisoners' eyes directly to live TV. BCUs are connected to the character's spinal cord. They can collect subjects' health status, affect the hormone levels, even take control of the character if necessary. They can also render data in front of the character's eyes. And once the BCU is removed, a HUD will be significantly reduced or removed. With BCUs, all prisoners are connected in one huge hive. The second thing we have to address are human eyes and how they work. In short, our eyes have central and peripheral vision that can't be simulated in computer games. For both eyes combined, horizontal field of view is between 200 and 220 degrees, while central vision is only about 5 degrees in the center. Visual acuity declines by about 50% every 2.5 degrees from the center up to about 30 degrees, at which point visual acuity declines even more steeply. If we try to simulate this on a computer screen, it would look something like this. The central vision helps to focus straight ahead, to see details sharply, and peripheral vision is used for detecting motion. While the central vision is good at various distances, the peripheral is good for large or close objects. The loss of peripheral vision while retaining central vision is known as tunnel vision. Scum simulates what your character sees by projecting imaginary curves. Everything in those curves can be detected by the tactics skill. For distant objects, players will have to use only a small fraction of the vision to keep their target in focus.
Alright team, approaching the Grand. Let's get inside. 2 covering west, 2 south, a couple north.
Alright, Aaron, Sarge has south.
Long distance scopes, try and get position up top.
Dropping OP.
Alright, I got our hedge line covered.
Yeah, copy. Animal, I like that position. Cover that entire northern line, due west. AC, I want you to be my my runner, scout, just out to the west. Let us know if you hear anything. Locked and loaded, find a position, try not to move around so you can hear him.
ROE weapons hot.
Weapons hot.
I've got right side of the hedgerow covered to the west.
Copy.
Sarge,
call
let me know
it
if you get
enemy
any trouble
before-
over there.
Try and call it enemy before you engage.
the percentage chance of you saving humanity at the end of the game increases. So for example, if you only have a 10% chance of saving humanity because you've only cured a tiny part of the roots, at the end of the game will literally RNG on whether or not you saved humanity.
Oh, so you
The
can still do it?
You can still do it.
Right.
The more of the tree of life that you cure, the better the
better your chance.
percentage that you'll actually save humanity.
But you can still lose.
But you can still lose.
Oh, man.
And the story's also open. So for example, if you've played it and you've been a complete ass the whole time, and you have low karma, you'll get, you know, a different ending than if you played it and had good karma.
That's pretty interesting. That's a really interesting idea, actually, because you're used to making all the right decisions and getting the good ending. The idea that you can, you know, you can do your best to heal the tree of life and still lose is kind of interesting. Or do your work, you know, not really care about it, but still actually it comes good. It's kind of an interesting idea that I'm really interested in. So yeah, we're seeing some more combat, and I think we might have seen the first of a couple of powers. So your character has several powers which you can use. I think we've seen the first one, which is kind of like it's that one there, which is like a confusion power, which can turn enemies against each other. They turn them to your side. I don't know that they're necessarily on your side, actually, but they definitely turn against their friends. And which is really good for just disrupting, you know, because they do get quite together. There's quite large numbers of them, so you can turn those against them. That's the first power that we've learned. You can see I've got a dodge now, which I'm using incredibly badly. This guy in the middle, he's not actually too difficult to kill, but I decided to go for the ads first, which was maybe a mistake.
I always go for the ads first, because I just want to be able to concentrate on the boss.
I
Yeah,
thought
no,
I
I
could
always go for the
easily,
ads first.
I thought I could easily, you know, outmaneuver his barrel throws, but actually he was surprisingly accurate with them, or I was surprisingly bad. I'm not sure. He's staggered here. Yeah, I know. I'll let you decide for yourselves. He's dead here, so that's good. And I like this nice. You get this nice slow-mo finisher, which is pretty cool.
So there are actually two types of power.
After me! Forward!
Okay,
the
all right.
question was that I don't honestly know if I'm allowed to talk about the wingsuit. You know what? Fuck it. Yes, it's back. And
Okay.
what's cool about it is that
You as the hero are, joining the resistance to try and push back and liberate these people.
Exactly. Yep, that's what we built. So as you kind of see this, you're going to see Boomer for the first time. You find yourself in the world. You know that this cult has taken over the space. You're kind of trapped behind cult lines. And what you have to do is basically find people out in the world and build this resistance. And it can start with Boomer the dog or any other person that you meet.
I mean, you have to start with the dog.
Of course.
Is there any other option?
Right.
Man's best friend.
Exactly. Well, we were actually in Montana. We were hunting, and there was it was kind of the end of the day, and it was getting cold. And the guy that we were with was like, "Don't move." We're like, "Okay." And we watched his dog for like 10 to 12 minutes, and finally the dog wasn't moving. At the end of it, the dog barked, and this bird went, and he goes, "Always trust your dog," and that's why the dog's in the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
The origin story of Boomer
There you go.
on
That's
PlayStation
Boomer.
Underground.
Yep.
You got more than you asked for, ladies and gentlemen. So tell me a little bit about this setting, because we're about to try and liberate a section of Hope
So this
County.
is a small community, Falls End, and what you basically got here is that the cultists come in and they've begun this thing called the Reaping, where what they believe is that the end of the world is coming, and that what they need to do is save as many souls as they can, whether they want to be saved or not. So they come in, they take over the town, they begin to take people, they kill some people, and what you have to do is basically liberate that town and take it back. And when you do, it begins to open up other parts of the world, and you can meet different characters, and you begin to discover the open world through these communities.
And I think you guys want to, well, we want to use Boomer, obviously, but also our friend playing here is going to take a slightly more long-range approach at the
Exactly.
beginning of this
Right.
playthrough. And that's one of the principles of Far Cry, right, is that you can play however you want to play, and there's a lot of
360
different ways.
degrees, right? I mean, we learned that on some of the games that we built in the past of building a game and building an environment where you can attack it any way you want. In this case, you've got Boomer, who has the ability to actually tag all these characters and be able to help you figure out how you want to attack.
Okay, so now
Every player will own an array of exosuits we call Javelins. These suits give players superhuman capabilities and are heavily customizable so they look and play how you want.
Bam. Looking good. Nice. You've got a mortar equipped.
Yeah, I got it on the weekend. You lead the way, I'll follow.
This is a vast open world you explore with your friends. Each Javelin exosuit has its own unique playstyle. The Ranger is balanced and all-purpose, while the Colossus is a tanking powerhouse.
All right. Let's see what's up here.
The world of Anthem is hostile, and threats can come from any direction. It's a dynamic world where the unexpected is around every corner.
Yeah, he seems like a problem for another day.
We're getting some fire from up ahead.
I'll go low. You flank.
Hang in there. Almost there. Have you been in there yet?
I haven't. We should do that later with Kim.
Yeah, you could use the XP. Hello, treasure. I think we got some action back.
Saving bad guys from other bad guys. Not how I thought today would go. big guy. Is that a Higgs field? That's actually really cool. Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
You're about to find out. Check the roof.
He's here? Come on. No!
You got some money for me, boy? I've seen your name in our ledger.
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf. We got lawmen in 3 different states after us. They chased us from the west, they chased us over the mountains.
We'll need an extra gun.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized.
You're the only one of these fools that I trust.
Where's our money?
Do you have my bag?
Always, Dutch.
Product not yet rated.